Recently, two people have asked me a really difficult career question. And the question is, look, Stephen, I've only been at my current employer for 6 or 9 months, and already I have been approached by another firm, which looks really good. And they seem to be very serious about me moving across. Is it too early for me to even consider making a move? Well, I think there's a number of considerations that you will find helpful in this video, and we're going to go through them now. Hello, my name is Stephen Wright. I'm a career coach here at Career Mentor, and we help high-performing financial services professionals make their next smart career move. So let's go through those ideas and considerations now. The first one is to say that perhaps you have some sort of moral obligation to the firm that is currently employing you. If they have offered you in good faith a job and you've accepted, and that they have delivered on the promises that they made, you have a moral obligation to deliver on the promises of value that you made to them during the recruitment process. And that probably means that you need to stay with them for at least 18 months to 2 years. That said, well, why would you even consider entertaining an approach from another firm? Well, let's look at why that might be. The first is that the firm you're working for has not delivered on the promises that they said they would, and it doesn't look like they are likely to do that. So, for example, they may say that they're going to give you 2 assistants to work with you, and those are just not forthcoming. So if they're not delivering on their promises, that might be a reason. The second is that there might be unfixable problems that even if they wanted to would be very difficult to solve. So let's say you've arrived in your new firm and you've found yourself in what is undeniably a toxic culture, or there are a few toxic people in your immediate area of work, and you just decide, look, I really don't want to work with these people, or I really don't want to work in this environment, and without all the due diligence, I would not have known that this is the kind of culture that this organization has. So unfixable problems. Next thing is to say that, and I say this as a recruiter with 22 years of experience, that it is very flattering to receive an approach from a recruiter or from a hiring manager, especially when they skillfully love bomb you and they tell you all the reasons why it makes sense for you to move across to their business. The other point is that a good recruiter will sometimes want to ensure that you are focusing on what are trivial, small niggles of dissatisfaction with your current employer and make them bigger in your mind, kind of make mountains out of molehills. So if that is the case, just be aware that that might be going on. The next point is that it actually might be the case that the grass is in fact greener on the other side of the fence, that this is a one-off career opportunity that you really shouldn't deny yourself and you really should follow through on, because it's just not going to happen again during the course of your career, and it does make sense for you to move that. And just as a side note, ensure that you are doing deep due diligence to make sure that what is being promised, what they're saying, is in fact true, and the fact the grass is really greener. You don't want to be going from the frying pan into the fire. The next and final point on why you might entertain an approach from another organization is that you weren't really committed to your current organization in the first place. Perhaps it's just a port in the storm, maybe a suboptimal choice that you felt you had to take because you were unemployed or because the place that you were working at was so bad that you decided to accept the offer that they made to you, but it was never really your first choice. And that now that you've been approached by another organization, it's kind of tempting to try and get back into a better organization. I hope you find those considerations useful. The final point here is that whatever decision that you do make, you're going to have to justify that decision. First, you're going to have to justify it to the organization that you are going to be leaving. You're going to need to tell them why you want to move on. The second is that you're going to have to justify it to the organization that's currently recruiting you. They want to know that you're moving for good reasons. The third people you might have to justify this to are future employers. So at some point in the future, they are going to look at your CV and say, well, how come you were at that firm for only 6 or 9 months? What was that about? Why did you make that decision? And of course, the final person who you're going to have to justify this decision to is yourself. So you're going to have to feel comfortable that you've really thought about this. You really have come up with the right answer to this tricky question, and that you're making the right choice for yourself and for your family and for your career. I hope you found that useful. I'll be putting the blog that I wrote about this in the comments below, and please do feel that you can comment or like this or share this if you feel that other people might find it useful. Thanks very much.